ever been fired?
Donahue.
I didn't get to see the Wolves game, but
It's mostly bad.
I heard, was there some ref stuff in there?
Yeah, the stuff at the end. I haven't
Uh,
read the last 2-minute report,
okay.
but Such gets fired. It's a great question.
Try again.
All right. So people should be able to ask questions in that feed. Be comment section. So you might. All right. We ready?
Yes. Wow.
Everybody hates their family today. All right. Nobody's watching us, which is great.
Gerbage is
Oh, okay.
favorite favorite podcast guys.
Oh,
They love the way we pronounce things. Favorite podcast guys. Can't say it. He says, "What's up? Hello, hello, Gerbage."
hello. All right, you ready? Let me make sure I'm recording. Okay, here we go.
I'm Stephen Adams. This is Down to Doug. I'm miffed and peeved. That's not the words. What do I say?
Hello, I'm Alex Sabrinas. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm about to dunk. Piffed. Hello, I'm Alex Sabrinas. I'm not miffed and piffed. I'm down to dunk.
I'm Stephen Adams. I'm not miffed and peeved. I am down to dunk.
Yo, this PG and I'm down to dunk.
Bang, bang.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schleck. We are part of CLNS Media, DailyThunder.com, and featured on Dash Radio at 5 o'clock Central Time. And with me, in the same room, in the same looking chairs, my friend Alex Spears. We're on YouTube.
Good morning.
Good morning. At 1:26 p.m., good morning.
Yeah, we're in these beautiful houndstooth wingback chairs. We've got matching houndstooth ottomans that we're resting around. I got my faithful dog at my side. Hank is here, live and in person. It's a beautiful setting.
It's a great day.
Yeah.
It's a great way to pop. If you're watching live on YouTube, and if you haven't, you can go search. It's easily my favorite editing that we've ever had.
I wish I would have dressed up. Now it's like,
I know. It's so ridiculous. So the Thunder lost yesterday on Christmas Day, 109 to 113 to the Houston Rockets in Houston. Paul George had 28 points, 14 boards. I thought Westbrook played okay yesterday. He didn't shoot the ball well in the second half. He really didn't play that well in the second half, but I thought he finished with 21 points, 9 assists, 9 boards, 6 turnovers. I feel like he's on his way back to being normal Westbrook. He did make 7 of 10 free throws.
Yeah, 7 is nice, but the 10 actually is more important. Did you know this is only the 4th time this season that Russ has attempted double-digit free throws?
Interesting.
And that was part of, his game was really a mixed bag. The things I did like was he did seem to be more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to be one of his more aggressive games. He had a few plays where he basically just outran the defense and got an easy layup.
Yeah.
Also had other plays where he got past the defense and missed wide open layups, but that's okay. The aggressiveness is what we're looking for, because that's kind of what we saw at the beginning of the season when he first came back. All those shots around the rim.
Yeah.
And so it was a weird night. He's had a weird season. I don't know how to feel
for the Thunder.
Weird
to play in the afternoon. I mean, there's a lot of excuses that you can give the Thunder, but I really think it comes down to the fact that I thought they defended well, but I felt like every single second chance the Thunder
right,
like almost every time it felt like they were just like, oh, come on. There would be like they didn't really out-rebound the Thunder by all that much, but Clint Capella just
In his Athletic article, Brett Dawson said that OKC only had what was it? Yeah, they had 9 second chance points to Houston's 23.
that's the game to me, because I thought the Thunder on every first try, I thought they defended Harden well. I thought they defended everybody well. But then the second chances, I felt like the Thunder were just like almost too tired to give that second effort.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And one thing that I didn't even think about until I read Brett Dawson's article, because, we think these guys are just superhumans.
Yeah.
He was talking about how this was their first road game for Christmas in a long time, and how all the extra logistics that go into that.
Oh man.
So the Oklahoma City Thunder franchise basically offered up the team plane to all these family members to try to keep people together over Christmas. So there's just all these family members. You got to get them all into the hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Then they brought Santa around to all the players who had kids. Santa came around to the rooms. I just that's all this stuff that you don't think about. And then they have to go and play this nationally televised game.
Yeah.
And then we treat it like it's just a normal game.
Right.
Which it really wasn't. And it was a bummer that they lost.
It was a bummer.
Especially because they played so well in the first half.
Yeah.
Even when the offense wasn't clicking, it was hard to not look good in that first half. They were holding them in check. And then
took 35 shots yesterday.
Yeah.
And he kind of has to. And he was awesome yesterday. I don't want to throw any shade at James Harden, because he was awesome yesterday. And that was basically the difference. He just hit a super tough floater at the end of the game to win it.
Right.
And, the Thunder did not play well in the second half. They really didn't get much from their bench. Dennis Schroeder has been in a weird slump lately. He's 5 of 11 for 10 points yesterday. Didn't have much of an impact. He had 4 blocks yesterday. I guess I didn't realize that. He was okay. Patrick Patterson continues to be so terrible that they decided to play Abdul Nader yesterday for 10 minutes. I understand trying Nader.
Right.
But you want to throw him out there for 10 minutes on national TV on Christmas Day. Here's the first time you played real minutes.
And it's at the 4.
And it's
on
at
Christmas.
the 4 on Christmas.
Day,
It's like,
yeah.
try that night or something like that. If you know you're going to try something new, because Patterson's getting to the point where he's unplayable. Be better off having him be a towel waiver.
He played no minutes in this. And this was the first game where I really was like, wow, that bench is a lot thinner than I thought, even 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, Abrinas was sick again.
Yeah, we have some questions about Abrinas.
Patterson is now slumped to the point where you're wondering if it's a slump. It might just be.
He might just suck.
He might have caught the Singler. He could be the next Singler, where he just
I know
completely.
It seems like he is the new Singler.
Wow, that's such a bummer.
It is, because
at least Singler had the personality for it.
Right? The float tanking.
Yeah,
he had the man bun.
It was a little more fun with Patterson. I really liked Patterson. I was all in on Patterson. Now it's just kind of sad.
Yeah, but I think if Andre does come back, everything changes just a little bit, because if Ferguson will be the guy coming in off the bench, I think that will help.
Right.
I just think they need a good defender on the court at all times on the perimeter. And I think Paul George has been awesome. He had 28 points, 14 boards. I thought he was really good yesterday on the defensive end. I thought he was great. I thought the Thunder defended the Rockets well. But James Harden makes just stupid shots. Austin Rivers making those wide open threes. The Thunder just need a guy that can make a wide open 3 at this point.
Yeah, and trying out Dre at the 4 is so much different than trying out Nader at the 4. If he was there, and they wanted to do that, because Houston was going, there was a reason to want to go match them, but it's so much difference when you have Dre there.
Well, I don't know why they didn't try Deontay Burton. Why didn't they put Burton out there instead of Nader?
Shocking that you would bring that up.
I'm just saying that they could have played Deontay over Nader, because Nader didn't seem like he'd get the ball. He did a couple drives where he was kind of driving in a circular motion, and he didn't really know what he was supposed to do. He took a couple threes. He missed everything. I just don't think that he was ready for yesterday, which is fine. Most guys aren't ready.
And he's only a second-year guy, but all of his movements were the pathway of least resistance. He'd get to a spot and then either path.
One time where I thought, man, he should have just taken the 3. That's should be his role.
Yeah.
Stop. I don't think he needs to be putting the ball on the floor. But I wish they would have played Deontay in that spot. I think that he's played at least minutes in the NBA where he's not going to be quite as nervous.
That is true. He's played more minutes than Nader, right?
Like a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's played more than TLC too, who was inactive yesterday. But Alex Abrinas was missed because they just need guy. They need a not one on the roster.
Yeah, especially at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Both of those bench units were out there, and they were both kind of disgusting.
Oh, it was so bad.
And you were just kind of waiting, like, when's Billy going to send back in the guys? Because it wasn't like any team was getting way ahead of each other.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like, oh, these are missed opportunities. It's like Houston doesn't have a lot out on the floor right now.
Right. And then Russell went out there, tie game, but it still just got away from them. And that's going to happen. It counts more. Like yesterday,
it does.
Yesterday felt like the Thunder lost 10 games.
Yeah, they did. They ruined our holiday.
Did it ruin your holiday?
A little bit.
There is a question, I think.
Yeah.
Who asked it? 10. How ruined was your Christmas yesterday?
Yeah, so that was from Jared KW13.
What do you think? Where was
Actually, I was a 10. Completely ruined. But then, Andrew, I looked around, saw all the presents. The tree was beautiful. My family was smiling. Everyone was eating good food, enjoying good conversation. So I decided to lower it to a 9.5. So it's still pretty bad, but you got to take those other things into account,
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't do anything to my day.
Really, you just went on to the next game. Oh, who cares?
I turned on my with my kid.
Yeah, that's it.
Just went away.
You're dulling your senses.
No, I still think this team is really good. I think this Thunder team is really good still. And now the Rockets fans are doing this thing where they're like, well, Fox the best teams.
No, we did that.
Same thing we did last year. And
that.
all Rockets on Christmas Day last year.
That's true.
And so it just feels like to me we've flip-flopped with the Rockets.
Well, another flip-flop. I feel like James Harden is having the Westbrook MVP season.
Yes.
And I wonder if the same people who are like, Westbrook should not win, like, what if the Rockets get in as like the 6th seed, but Harden legitimately has like just an insane, like, he's averaging more points this year than he was last year.
Yeah.
He's, now that Chris Paul's out for a while, all those other counting stats are going to bump up.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, like, he legitimately could have that Westbrook type year. And
I could average a triple-double.
I bet those same people
talk about how it's just like, okay, you watching the same game I'm watching?
and they actually hit fouls. Like, he had a rip through move on Jimmy Green yesterday that wasn't called.
Yeah, I saw that.
And everyone, like the announcers, were like, "Well, that's not a rip through. That's something different. Like,
Yeah.
he's just so sneaky, so good at it. That
Oh my
should have been
gosh.
called." Like, no, that's a rip through. What's the difference?
Their hand gets caught. you
Yeah.
try to shoot it. That's what the rip through is.
Well,
it's so mad now.
I'm going to see the Rockets
I
in
know.
about a week's time.
I saw
I've got great seats, center court, 100 level.
Wow.
So if I make a sign, I could potentially get seen. I think I'm going to make some,
Is it
some
on TV?
biting comments. No, I don't think it's a Saturday game,
Okay.
so I don't know what it would be on. I'll make some biting comments about their style of play. They'll really put Daryl Morey in his place.
You're gonna have to keep us updated that night somehow.
Yeah, I might make a "Where's Melo" sign. Just hold that up. Of course, they're probably going to like destroy the Blazers, and then I'll just be embarrassed.
They might. They're playing well. I mean, really, James Harden's playing well straight too. But overall, like, that team still isn't very good. They are super thin.
They are super thin.
They needed Austin Rivers to step up yesterday, and he made a couple shots and timely shots that still, I don't know. I don't think much of that Rockets team even.
Now, what do you think about this question? Because I do think this is a good question. We talked about how they, in general, played good defense. 5 said, why does OKC keep Adams away from the basket and allow guys like Capella and AD to get 20-plus rebounds and an easy bat show and drop him? It's a wide open dunk, or is a wide open dunk a tougher shot than a late contested three? Is Adams too heavy? Now he's fat. He can't stay in front of guards anymore. But I did notice that a lot because I am not a good X's and O's guy. But yesterday, there were so many plays where he would come off of Capella, and then Capella would get switched like Westbrook on him or something. Poor Westbrook's trying to like put up with Capella.
Yeah.
And Capella got a lot of easy shots, especially in the first half.
Yeah.
He had like 14 points or something. And that is something I noticed. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting strategy that should be used against some teams. I think against guys like Gobert and even Capella, that dropping the big does make some sense. But they're not going to change their defensive philosophy. I understand it, and I think that there is definitely some validity to it. But on most nights, the Thunder are dominating the boards themselves.
Right.
But Adams is overhelping this season. Is what I've seen on the perimeter, on the weak side. I feel like he's overhelping way too much, and I think that's where the Thunder get themselves in trouble, probably more so.
Do you think that's the Steven Adams thing, or is that just their system thing?
I think some of it's Steve. I think it's probably even habits that he had from last season, because he feels like
he felt like he had to do
Yeah.
everything.
I mean, he overhelps on a guy like Ferguson has many times had a perimeter player locked down as best as he could, ready to contest a shot, and Steven will come out and almost like double team.
Right.
And it will lead to open shots at the rim.
Yeah.
And so I feel like those are the times where it's like that's completely unnecessary to do that, and that happens quite a bit. Because Ferguson, we haven't talked about him. I thought he played really well yesterday. He hit a couple threes. I thought he defended Harden really well. He didn't have quite the size or length that Dre does, but I thought that he did probably the best job he could. I know that Harden, he had 41 points, but still,
right.
I felt like he had to really work for him on 35 shots. I mean, it's not like the greatest efficiency in the world. So, I mean, I thought he did a great job.
And I did think, in general, the team did good at not biting for those Harden fouls.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jeremy one, which wasn't even called, was like one where maybe they would have easily gotten called.
Yeah.
But there were a couple and it was frustrating for Harden, you could tell.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember how many free throws, but
yeah, they made him work for those points, and Harden was great. That's what it came down to, is that in the battle of all the court, Harden just played the ball of them.
I don't
The Rockets.
I don't like that there's only two main colors, just red and white. I thought the jerseys yesterday actually were like the most decent of their jerseys.
Oh, really?
Just because they were simple.
Yeah.
I don't like the ones that have the stuff on the side.
What is that?
It's Rocket.
It's not okay.
Yeah, I don't like them. I wish they would get name
rebrand.
Yeah, total rebrand.
I wish they would just move out of this league.
Yeah, he only had 7 free throws that whole game.
Yeah,
James Harden.
That's pretty amazing. That Westbrook had more free throws.
Yeah,
than James Harden.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I thought Westbrook made great reads in the first half, and I thought that his decision making not great in the second.
Yeah, it went down as the game went on.
It was not the most encouraging thing,
right?
But overall, I thought they played fine in the game. They were in the game. It feels like now, like, oh, they got killed by the Rockets, but like they were in the game.
Yeah,
they could have won that game. And it is frustrating that they continue to lose close games. They lost that game against Minnesota the other night, and there was a lot of. I thought it was a poorly officiated, very like you complain about those, but the Thunder didn't play well enough to win that one. They did beat the Jazz in a close game, which they probably shouldn't have won that one. They get to play Phoenix in Phoenix on Friday.
The 10th time.
It feels
exciting.
Yeah, this will be the last time they play Phoenix.
Now, talking about clutch play, I looked it up. OKC is now 6-11 in games that end up in clutch time.
Yeah,
which is ahead of only the Knicks and the Pelicans in terms of winning percentage.
Interesting.
Not going too well.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, and I think they're shooting like 21% from 3 in the clutch.
That matches the eye test.
Yeah, not great. Not great.
They'll get somebody. I think. Do you still think that they're not going to make a trade or of any kind?
This is the first game where I started to waver.
Yeah.
I mean, if Abrinas can't even be healthy, I didn't anticipate that.
I know. We have some Abrinas questions. So from at Superhero, is Abrinas the front runner for Sick Man of the Year? I think the answer is yes.
Yes.
Superhero.
Because he's genuinely sick. It's not like right?
He's
He's just sick.
right. He's sick.
And just like normal sickness, heard anything
I haven't heard anything
big. Oh,
It's like he has mono or something,
yeah.
like one last year.
Mm.
Sad. Also, was Alex Abrines vaccinated at birth?
Great question. Great question. Who knows how many communicable diseases he's going to? He's traveling a lot.
He is.
He could be picking up these things.
Oh my goodness.
That might be what it is.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
His parents were non-vaxxers.
Thunder Docs need to get on that.
They do vaccinate the man. It is a problem. Really, the pure shooter on the team, and if he can't stay healthy, because we all know that maybe he misses the next game because he's still sick, and then he comes back against Dallas. Well, he's going to be completely out of rhythm because that's the way that he functions. He plays well when he's like been in a nice rhythm. He usually plays pretty well, but I just don't know if he's ever going to be able to stay healthy physically or vaccinatedly. I just don't know if it's going to be able to happen. It's become a concern at this point whether or not he's a guy that they can count on, because they need shooting. They need
a shooter,
because Patterson is obviously the new Kyle.
Yeah.
And Abrines just can't stay on the court. And then, I like giving Diallo minutes, but he's not a guy that's going to draw the defense or make threes. Somebody that can make a three.
Okay, so who asked the question about the buyouts?
I think
and read off your list.
Yeah, let me find my list real quick. It was a Sternlick, the _ Sternlick. He's changed his Twitter handle a few times.
He's on the Starters Drop podcast a lot.
He is.
I hear him on Tweet of the Week.
Yes. Shout out.
Out.
Do you ever want to do Tweet of the Week shout outs? Do you think those guys really, they just, you listen to, they do hate?
I think it's a bit now, but I don't think they would be upset if it really did go away.
It doesn't.
The tweets are never good.
It's
always
it
bad.
is it is a terrible segment. It's questionably.
No cakes.
What did he say?
I don't know, Baby Cakes. I can't even imagine how else you would say it. I think it was like Al baby. Something like that.
Maybe I think that was it. I think that's what it was.
So Ed was asking about, are there any buyout guys?
So
potentially
the other day about buyout candidates that,
and it was a hot list.
It was a hot list. There was a lot of guys on this list. Here we go. So tell me which one of these guys. So the Thunder have a spot, and they have some money they can spend on a guy. So, oh my gosh, the internet is so slow right now. Okay, here we go. Carmelo Anthony. That was a buyout candidate.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Isn't he not allowed to come back? Is that because we traded him?
I don't know.
Well, we'll pretend it's true.
Yeah.
They can't even think about it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know. Austin Rivers has been picked up since then. Robin Lopez.
No.
Not a candidate.
Not a candidate for multiple reasons.
He might murder Jeremy Grant.
Yeah. Although somebody did ask about, do we need an enforcer? And he could potentially.
Do you think we need an enforcer?
I mean, it'd be fun because it feels like right now the craziest person on the team is Westbrook. And I don't like when he is in that role. Like he did it last night. He did one of his classic, like, oh, I didn't get the call, so I'm about to slap this guy as hard as I can, and then turn around and get the technical for arguing.
Yeah, he did that.
He needs someone else to do that for him. Just a wild man off the bench.
Bring back Park. Who are the enforcers of the league right now?
There are none anymore. I mean, I guess Beverly, but there's a difference between an enforcer and a dirty player.
Yeah,
like some guys are just dirty. Enforcers are guys like kind of like Perk, where they play limited minutes.
Yeah,
that is one of their main strengths. It's kind of what he was known for.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the list. Yeah. Zach Randolph. Talking about enforcers.
That is true.
He could be an enforcer off the bench.
We've given up on shooting in 10 seconds. Now we're just trying to get an enforcer.
Zivo was shooting corner threes last year. He didn't play at all for the Kings, though.
He doesn't.
He's at home.
I think there's a reason. Next.
Yeah, I'm sure he's big.
Next, my favorite.
Anthony Tolliver.
Yes. Now, if I brought up, what's the difference between him and Tupat? I think there's a difference now.
Yeah, but he does. Okay.
There's a difference now.
In our minds, there's a
yeah, there
difference.
is. And that counts for something.
He doesn't play at all for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, because they're crazy.
Uh,
They're crazy. What are they doing?
He didn't play at all.
He
Okay.
shot. Yeah. So sign me up for him.
Okay. We'll pencil him in. Enes Kanter.
No, I mean, I don't. Why would they just to be nice?
He's still good.
No, I know, but why would they buy him out? Like,
Yeah.
he's
just
not like helping them win games. Like, just
Right.
have him around. He's a good
Yeah.
personality.
can't play Kanter.
Can't play Cantor.
Remember Can't Play Kanter?
Yeah, that was sad.
Everybody wants him to come back, but we forget about Can't Play Kanter.
Remember campaign?
Nope.
Next,
Kenneth Fareed.
no.
He can't play for anybody. If he's not playing, everybody's like, "Oh man, look how deep this net's." You could soak up some backup minutes.
He
for that.
doesn't.
Not
I
at all.
thought this list was a lot hotter.
Bayless. You see Jared Bayless without the headband the other night?
No, I don't even know who he plays for. He gets as part of. Where is he?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
he still on the Sixers?
No. Okay. Iman Shumpert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they really did buy him out, why not? I don't
Each season. Yeah. I mean, just
because they don't want. I don't think they want to play Justin Jackson. And if they have a
Yeah.
chance to make the playoff,
Yeah.
Shumpert.
Kufas. No.
No.
Alec Burks.
I mean, yeah, but again, these people buying these people out. Why would
It's the Cavaliers. I mean, they have
Yeah.
nothing. It would money.
I feel like they could trade him if they wanted to.
He's making like 12 million.
Well, maybe not. Who's that next one? Oh, J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith. What do you think?
So when the Rockets were talking about it, I was like, what a joke. You know, classic Morey thinking he can just bring work at him. Meanwhile, it's like, wow.
Well, Austin Rivers is like making threes for them.
Yeah.
I think J.R. would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the JR, which we forget, but he was actually like a decent defender when he wanted to be.
Yeah.
And
if all he has to do is play 10 to 15 minutes off the bench for the Thunder and just come in and shoot threes.
Right.
I don't know. I would take it. I would do if that's your 15th spot, he's a minimum for the rest of the year. And if he acts out, you just cut him.
Right.
The last one, Jabari Parker.
No.
You wouldn't want him playing the Patterson minutes?
No, I honestly think he would turn into another like can't play Cantor.
He's
Like, what would you do with him in the playoffs?
you don't play him.
Yeah. So what's the point? What are we doing?
I don't know. He would eat a lot of pizza here though.
Is he known for his pizza eating?
He just looks big. I don't know. You?
Well, yeah, he doesn't eat. He was on a little hot streak. He was
Yeah.
scoring a lot.
He needs to go to a bad team. He needs to go play for the Hawks. For the Hawks and just see him 30 minutes a night.
That was a weird draft.
It was a weird draft.
Really weird draft.
Andrew Wiggins was awesome against the Thunder the other night.
He was. Oh, my dog is on the move.
he was.
If you're watching on YouTube, know that it is thundering outside, and my dog is terrified of thunder, which is why he's curled up, panting on my lap right now.
Oh,
He's so scared.
So the buyout candidates usually do not make a huge impact, but if they could get a guy like Alec Burks or J.R. Smith, like they need to do something like that. That would be great.
They have to be able to shoot. They cannot bring in like a Corey Brewer type who like maybe he'll get hot or something.
Yeah, they need to find someone that can shoot. And Presti's even said that. He said that before the season started. Either these guys need to shoot better, or we're going to go find somebody that will.
Yeah,
they need to go find somebody.
Prove it, Sam.
What about this one? This one was not on that list. Ryan Anderson.
No, because what are you going to do in the playoffs? Like
he can shoot, man.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I like Tolliver. That's why I'm such a big Tolliver fan, because he's not a zero on defense. Why do you not like Anthony Tolliver?
I just think he's probably overrated in the minds of everybody.
No, he is. He is smart, and I am so smart for bringing him up. before anyone else. And when he comes here, you're going to feel like a dummy because he's going to be so good. And I'm excited
Why would the Wolves buy him out?
because they don't play him. And he's a veteran.
Yeah.
And he probably wants to go play. I mean, Taj is even getting upset about his minute. Yeah, because Dario came in and has been taking some minutes because he probably makes a lot more sense next to Towns.
I think they buy out Taj instead and keep the best player in the world, Anthony Tolliver.
That's what I would do, obviously.
Anthony Tolliver's got such a shiny head,
He does have a shiny head.
which would be exciting to have here in Oklahoma City.
He's an interesting looking guy. I'm a fan though. Now, can I tell you some stuff? Can we look at their upcoming schedule?
Yeah.
So they play at Phoenix.
Okay.
Win.
They have
Hopefully.
they have to win that game.
Phoenix has been better.
They've been better, and also the Thunder typically, historically, do not play well in Phoenix.
Great. The next game at Dallas.
Dallas has been awesome at home, and Luka's been so good.
The next game, Dallas at home, third game in 4 nights.
Yeah, back
Again.
to back.
And then they actually start playing some teams at the Lakers, at the Blazers. The night before, I'm going to see the Rockets.
They'll lose.
Oh, that was there's just a big lightning. It's about the thunder really loud.
Oh my
Hank.
gosh.
I'm worried about this upcoming schedule, though.
They'll for sure lose to the Blazers in Portland.
Yeah, and then the Blazers will get destroyed by the Rockets the next night when I'm there. And Harden will go off. He'll have a 50-point triple-double.
That sounds right.
You mark that down.
They need to step up and win some of these games. Like they have to beat Phoenix. It'd be great to beat Dallas twice. I don't think they will, but it'd be great.
Yeah, Dallas has similar issues with late game execution recently.
Maybe no team will win.
I don't even know what the record is. I remember a college basketball game going
Like 7.
Yeah, that was the Kemba game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing about Houston, though, so they've won 7 of 8.
Yeah.
6 of those 7 wins have been at home. So they've had a favorable schedule, even though they've been playing tough teams. OKC has a similar schedule at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So 9 of their final 13 games are at home.
Ooh,
So it's something to look forward to.
that's very nice.
So even if they drop in the standings a little bit, they're going to have a ton of home games at the end. And they're against good teams, but they'll at least be home.
this team is still in good position.
They are. They're in great
They're
position.
still a good team. At Benevolent King has a question.
Yes.
How great are the Rockets and Jazz? Am I right? I mean, best teams and least annoying players ever. We wish them luck. He's trying to reverse our curse.
Yes.
I think that we're definitely paying for our sins from Rockets Insider right now.
No. Okay, listen. It was Ducari Sanchez. He said, when can we expect Alex's public apology for upsetting the Karma Gods?
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's anyone out there going, didn't Alex pick the Rockets over in the preseason? Didn't he lock it in? Wasn't Alex's big Christmas gift tickets to see the Rockets one day after the Thunder are there, by the way? Was Rockets Insider just an elaborate reverse jinx? Is Al Babycakes a Rockets mole who has infiltrated one of our most sacred Thunder podcasts? Who is watching Al Babycakes? Where did he come from? Do you think there's anybody out there starting Al Babycakes conspiracy theories?
Oh, I hope so.
What if I texted you one time because people were getting a little too excited for Rockets Insider, and I was like, "Hey, Andrew, do you think I should do a heel turn and just become like a Rockets apologist, but be dead serious about it and just anger you every week?"
We do need to reverse this a little bit.
We did. We just said how good James Harden been playing.
Dante Exum, if you're a Jazz fan, you should be so excited.
Wait, we don't know. We can still hate the Jazz.
Dante Exum.
No, we've beaten the Jazz.
He's so athletic.
No, I'm not going along with this one.
Okay, Daniel House.
Daniel. Did you know that's actually how you say it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The first Daniel. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. He's awesome. He's legit 8-man rotation guy.
Of course.
And Eric Gordon, could we say underrated?
If Daniel House gives you 33% of what Ariza did, and James Ennis gives you the other 80%, you add those together. I wish I had chosen different numbers, but that's 123% of Trevor Ariza.
And
113%.
Yeah, and and I like their character. They're character guys.
They're a character team.
They
is what I've always said, and it starts at the top.
It does.
Tillman Fertitta, his casinos are so classy. Okay, do you want to do some Twitter questions?
Yeah, I do.
All right. I have some answers for this one. At Kyle E. Clark,
Okay.
after 2 straight losses to better teams, are there areas concerned with the schedule toughening up from here on out? How do we fare against tougher competition?
Yeah.
So I looked it up. Currently, OKC is 7-8 against teams that are at 500 or above.
Mm-hmm.
But this stat is still going to be a little wonky because, for example, the Jazz are still a game under 500. So all we need to happen is the Jazz win their next game. All of a sudden, OKC is 9-8.
Yeah.
Against teams that are 500.
It is a
better.
weird number.
And there's no teams outside of Denver. Denver, I think, is 11-7. But most teams are right around 500 against those teams.
That's how the NBA. Here's how you become a 50 to 60 win team: is that you
kill the bad teams.
You beat the bad teams, and then you're 500 or maybe a little bit better against the good teams.
And let me tell you what the record is against people under 500. They're 14-4.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to do. Now, this is a little interesting though. So it's not really helpful right now, but it is true that OKC has not played a ton of games against those type of teams.
Yeah.
They've played 15 of those games. As a comparison, the Clippers have played 21 games. The Jazz have played 28. They've played 13 more games against teams that are at or above 500 than OKC. Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
Now, another one, the team that's played the fewest in the league. What do you think? So this is the team that's played the fewest number of games against teams that are at 500 or above.
Houston.
They're in the East.
The Celtics?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, and so
Wow.
everyone made such a big deal about the Marcuses entering the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Go back and look at their schedule during time. It was crazy. Now, they just had a great win against the Sixers.
Yeah, that's a nice
in
one.
overtime.
They always beat the Sixers, though. They
That
have
is
their
true.
number.
But man, they've been playing an awful schedule. And then I looked at that and I was like, wow, they haven't played many good teams yet. But that was a nice one for them.
Yeah.
So it's obviously we're about to go into a harder part of the schedule. I feel like the end of February into March is where it's terrible.
They either need to go get somebody else, or Schroeder, or somebody needs to start playing better.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think Russell Westbrook is going to get better. I feel like he's looked better. I know he didn't shoot the ball great yesterday. I know his shooting percentages are really bad, but he has like the look of a guy that's figuring it out.
Right.
So, and then Paul George has been awesome. Steven Adams has been great. Jeremy Grant's been great. They just need a shooter.
Have you noticed Westbrook's new free throw routine? Where you're like,
yeah. He's done that. Yeah.
Do you think he needs a new one? He does a deep breath.
I don't know. I honestly think yesterday was a step in the right direction. 7 of 10. Obviously, you want him to make more than that. But if you got 70%, that's almost 10 percentage points better than what he shot this season.
I wonder if he walked to the rim and back, because you can go that far of a distance, and they probably won't stop you.
You can walk forward instead of backward.
Yeah.
What if he walked backwards toward the rim?
To the rim. Did you see
the
what
same?
happened at the Houston game? I think it was pregame. He was walking backwards and ran right into a Rockets ball girl.
Oh, no.
Tumbled to the ground.
Oh, no.
Some are saying she flopped, but she tumbled. Luckily, she was okay. And Russell helped her out. Okay. How many gifts or traditions would you give up in exchange for a Thunder victory over the Rockets on Christmas?
How many gifts?
Would you given up that Super Nintendo Classic?
No. Traditions, I don't know. Probably, it's one way. I don't care that much. What would you give?
I would give up the tradition of my wife's family taking pictures for 30 minutes while everyone makes fun of how bad I look in pictures. This happens every year. I look terrible in pictures.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
What are you doing?
I get fatter instantly. They press the button on the camera and I blow up.
You do weird smiles or
No,
something?
no, I don't know. I'm just terrible at it. And now it's like a running joke,
Too much pressure.
which is not funny to me,
It's probably just too much pressure.
probably. This is from @Ben_Burke10. What is your valuation of the refs' performance so far this season? Also, what's your favorite Christmas dinner item to eat?
Ooh, okay. I think the refs have been fine. They've had bad games. Here's the thing.
Here's a smart NBA take about
Okay.
refs.
Okay.
Hardest sport to ref.
This is
Hardest
the
sport.
hardest.
These
of,
guys are so fast.
hardest of the 4 major sports to officiate.
Yes, there it is. That sounded so smart.
It did. I don't know if it's true.
I've never refed a game in my life.
I have no idea if that's true, but
Yeah.
it seems right.
Sounds right.
Yeah. I mean, look back to that last season. I mean, they're going to miss calls. They missed Giannis stepping out of bounds.
On that This Week in Thunder history. I didn't bring that up, but that was just a year ago.
Also, the Timberwolves, the end of the game against Timberwolves last year. I mean, they're going to miss stuff, but I don't particularly this year.
Here's what you do. This game was a particularly tough one. You fly down to Dallas Love Field. Okay?
Yeah.
You go to the Chili's 2 there, and you watch the game on Gamecast on your ESPN app, and you don't know what's going on. That's what I did. and when it ended, I was just like, "Oh, that's a pretty close game." No idea what happened.
I know. Did you get anything at the Chili's too?
Yeah, man, I got a turkey bacon avocado sandwich.
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah. And I had a local Dallas beer, local
Oh.
Dallas IPA.
Sounds pretty good.
It was a $10 beer.
$10.
I spent $70 at a Chili's
What?
in an airport. Christmas dinner item to eat.
We had some great turkey yesterday,
Oh, really?
courtesy of CBS Sports Radio.
Really?
Gave me a turkey,
A whole turkey?
Yeah.
Cooked?
not cooked. We had to cook it, but it was good.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, it was delicious.
And you do you do any? You fry it, or you deep fry it? Or you do anything fancy?
No,
Put it in.
man. 10 hours.
Nice.
It's delicious.
Sounds great.
It has this little thing in it that's like it pops up when the turkey's ready, like this little red thing. So you don't even have to check it. You just check for the little thing to pop up.
And that's part of turkeys. All turkeys have
I don't
this?
know. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's an organ.
It comes in a bag.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
On the way over while driving.
Constantly.
My wife's family makes a dish. I guess you'd call it a side, really. I don't know if it's unique to their family.
Yeah.
But it's called alcohol. And the great thing about it is it gets better with each helping. Let's just say I went back for a second yesterday.
What'd you have?
I had a couple glasses of red wine.
Yeah.
I had a couple beers.
Oh.
And then my brother-in-law, who can a lot more than me, he made the old fashions.
Oh.
I had an old fashioned. I don't really drink liquor. I still don't know. There's whiskey in it, and it came with orange.
Oh.
It was fine.
Sounds
I drank it.
fancy.
It was great.
Did you feel fancy?
Yeah, a little fancy.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Oh, so I thought this was an interesting one because I did start thinking about this. This is from Always and Forever.
Oh yeah. Well,
Did this game highlight the importance of Robertson to you?
Hmm.
It did for me, not because Ferguson played poorly, because he did great. But Paul George faded guarding Harden and having to score. With Robertson back, Paul George never has to guard the best player. If Robertson returns healthy, then he starts and finishes on the opposing team's best player. When he sits, Ferguson comes in and guards the best player, allowing George to play passing lanes and concentrate on the offense more.
I think it's 100% correct.
Yeah, and it's something that, 2 weeks ago, this team was kind of clicking, the bench was clicking, and I was thinking out loud on Twitter saying, like, I wonder how many minutes they really need of Robertson. And maybe that's still true. Like, maybe they still don't need him to be the Robertson that he was
And it's
these
not
past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But they can definitely use him.
It's not an every night deal, but if you remember back to last Christmas, them all out there at the same time.
Yeah.
And have the switchy defense. I mean, they'd be unstoppable. The most unstoppable defense ever. Unstoppable defense? Do you say that?
Yeah. The most unstoppable. Their defense can't be stopped.
The most stopping defense?
Yeah, the most stopping.
That's
The most
not right either.
constipating defense in the league.
I don't know. How do you say that?
I don't know.
The best, easily the best defense in the NBA.
Easily.
Westbrook, Ferguson, George, Robertson, and then you can put Grant there
Adams
too.
or Grant, yeah.
It's great. Switch it up.
That would be great. I don't know if it's going to happen this season. I'm really worried about Dre.
And they could not make a shot.
That's true.
I guess Ferg has been fine. What are his splits?
Oh my gosh, another big lightning bolt.
There's a lot of lightning.
Can you hear my dog panting?
A little bit.
Really?
Percent on the season, which
Not great.
but I feel like he's shot better recently. He started the season remember how bad he was to start the season?
Yeah, we were thinking of wanting to send him to G League.
Wanted to. Would have done it.
Tried to.
Tried to do it.
Drove down.
Realized I didn't have the power. Yeah, I feel like he's been a lot better as of late.
You walked into the media room during a game. Where do we submit our suggestions for Mr. Presti? Where's the suggestion box?
Samuel, I want to send. Can we send Terrence down to the G League, please? Yeah, in December he is. Let's see, 11 of 28 from 3, which is pretty good.
Is it? That sounds like right around. Is that? Oh, that's a little bit better than 33%.
Yeah, if he shot that for the season, that's fine. That's fine, right?
That would be fine.
And so I think if you put that lineup out there, I think you obviously are going to have trouble manufacturing points, but your defense is going to be just that good. He's 30. That's 39% in the month of December.
He closed last season really well, right?
He did. Yeah.
Second half.
And
Post
he was-
All-Star.
And he was 10 of 30. So he started the season 1 of 13 from 3. Just killing his percentages.
Kill him. Revved
So-
you up.
But since then, he's in the mid 30s.
Okay. Not bad.
That's good. We'll take
And
that.
and we can throw out the beginning of the season anyways, because those first 4 games were weird.
So terrible.
So who cares?
He had his individual in the first 6 games for Ferguson. He had of 66 and a defensive rating of 112. He was so bad.
We were right.
We were right.
Yeah, we don't have to
We were right.
apologize for that.
And now, so in the month of December, and I for those stat nerds out there, they're like, well, the individual rankings, they don't amount to a whole lot. All right. Just hit skip thing a couple times so you don't have to even listen to me. Offensive rating of 120, defensive rating of 110 in the past month. That's great.
That's great.
He's been really good for the Thunder so far. He and Diallo, and then we have to remember this, that the Thunder, this isn't like all the other seasons that we've had since 2016. I feel like there's a lot of PTSD with Thunder fans from 2016 until this point. This is not like their only shot with this team.
True.
In fact, they can go out and find other guys in the offseason that maybe fit a little bit better next to all these guys.
And it's amazing to me. I still can't get over, like, not just that Paul George is here, but how much he seems to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like both in that article about them going down to how great the organization is and like how family focused they are. Because they flew down his girlfriend and his daughters.
Yeah.
And then there's another Brett Dawson article about him visiting the memorial.
Yeah. Which is
Um,
great. I think our video is dead on YouTube.
That's okay.
But just keep listening, everybody, if you're still there, all 4 of you. Yeah. So he's moving into his prime right now. I know Russ hasn't played well. He's going to play better. But if
Paul George is totally bought in.
Totally
is
bought-
what I was saying.
if moving forward, if Paul George is your second best player, Steven Adams your third, and then you fill in around them with Jeremy Grant, and if you can go find guys that can shoot the basketball to get a team that's better than what this is today. And also, look at the improvement from Ferguson from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah.
It's huge. He was unplayable at the end of last season. And now he's like a legitimate starting shooting guard. He's not like one of the best,
Right.
But he's a guy that you're like, okay, I can't question them starting him. He's been that good. Like Diallo is a guy that could improve as well in the offseason. If they can go find a backup forward that can shoot it, and maybe go find somebody else like Wayne Ellington or somebody like that.
And remember that they had their pick this year, which probably won't help next season, but just to have another cheap contract,
they do have their pick.
that'll
pick,
be helpful.
That pick is going to be important.
Yeah.
And you know that Sam is going to do his homework, and those guys don't always work out. They'll be picking in the 5th or something like that. But
Right.
still, like you can find somebody like this. It's a decently important draft, and also they can trade that pick after they can select somebody for somebody
Right.
else and trade it. So this pick is really important for this team, I feel like, and it's underrated. If they can go find a backup 4 that can shoot it, that'd be great. But at that point, if you can hit on that pick, I don't care what position they play, you've gathered enough young assets where it's like, oh, I thought I'd have some trade chips now.
Yeah.
Ferguson, Diallo, this current pick, Jeremy Grant, that's a good. Those are some good young assets that could be dealt for.
I feel like you're about to make an offer for Anthony Davis there. You're getting really close. You know, that's what the fans want. It's what they want to hear, Andrew.
Ferguson, Diallo, the 25th pick,
Yeah.
and Steven Adams.
Oh, I didn't know you're going to add him in there. Are you sure we can't just give them Schroeder, Andrew?
I feel like I'm on Twitter or Reddit right now. Can we not just give them Schroeder instead? Like, that's not a terrible offer.
It really isn't.
It depends on what you think of Diallo, but if you feel like he has a high ceiling, like that's not the worst offer in the world.
Oh, if there's any way you could get AD while keeping Paul George and Russell Westbrook, you would have to do it.
You have to do it. You have
Unless
to.
he says, there's no way I'm staying no matter what.
You still do it. To have a year?
Oh, man.
If you had a year.
It's so scary. It's so scary.
I don't care, man. Get a year.
I mean, I believe in Paul and Russ. You know, I feel like they could
If you had
convince
those
them.
3, that'd be so stupid. I'm sorry that we're talking about this right now, everybody. I feel like we need to apologize.
All right, I'm going to ask you another Twitter question.
Okay.
From @CJ Capraro,
That sounds right.
who has the worst fans?
Oh,
and our 3 options are Rockets, Jazz, or Warriors. I have a very strong opinion.
I feel like the Lakers need to be thrown in there too.
Yeah, we'll throw in the Lakers as well.
They have terrible fans.
So I wouldn't say Warriors, and here's why.
Okay.
Because I would be acting the exact same way if I was in Warriors fans' position.
We would be insufferable.
I would be so obnoxious because listen, their fans for years and years were always held up as like these are what good fans are. Like this for years and years and years, they always show up. They are really good fans. So
it's the bandwagon people that people are annoyed by.
Right. Those are the worst. But like they're actual Warriors fans, like I would be the exact same way. I'd be terrible.
We would be awful.
Yes, we'd be awful people. So I don't really blame them for that. So I wouldn't put them at the Rockets. I honestly think Rockets fans and Thunder fans have a lot more in common than we would like to believe.
Okay.
Because, you know, I was spending a lot of time on Rockets Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of learn that like they're very willing to make fun of their team when it goes bad.
Yeah.
Like they're very emotional about their own team.
Yeah.
They defend Harden's style of play the same way we defend Russ's style of play. I think
Morey and Sam Presti.
Exactly. We both have smart GMs.
Yes.
And we're always in trades. We're always in trade rumors.
Yeah.
So I think we actually share a lot in common with them. We just don't like them because they're the Rockets, which
we hate the Rockets. Yeah.
The Jazz, however, the Jazz are a different breed of fan. There are little demons out there. I'm just going to read you a few things about the Jazz. Now, the one that everyone knows is the Derek Fisher.
Yeah.
So remember, Derek Fisher played for the Jazz. His daughter got cancer in her eye, and so he had to fly away for a game, but he came back and she game.
Yeah.
Got a standing ovation. All Jazz fans loved him. After that season, he didn't want to have to keep flying her to either New York or LA. So he ended up signing with the Lakers. He comes back for a game against the Jazz. Apparently, rumors were that people were chanting cancer. And then there is a photo of a guy when he's shooting a free throw covering his eye, referencing his daughter who had cancer.
Gosh, that is not cool.
Not cool at all.
So not only he didn't just sign with the Lakers. He asked out of his contract.
That's
with
true.
The Jazz.
Yeah.
So it's different than just like anybody asking or anybody just signing with a different team. Like who cares? It's Derek Fisher. Like, he's just,
right. Yeah.
He's not that good. he asked out, which is not. I don't know how many times this happened in NBA history.
Yeah.
And then went and signed with the team that won the team. Whatever.
Then last year, I didn't remember this. So Utah's front office and players had to address their fans before Game 3 against the Houston Rockets last year, because there were so many things last year that they were getting like bad reps for.
Oh, really?
There was a thing. Well, there's a bunch of stuff with Westbrook, which we remember.
Yeah.
Like that idiot fan that was back again this year.
Oh, yeah.
Like coming out on the floor and getting in his face.
Right.
And then there was the guy who like held up his phone right in Harden's face, and Harden hid it away.
Yeah.
But listen to this. By the way, if you type in Jazz fans, worst fans in the NBA, ton of hits, ton of great content out there. I thought this was really funny. So this is TJ Simers. He used to work for the LA Times. He was a journalist. He once called Salt Lake the most miserable place on earth.
Wow.
He went on to say the Jazz Arena is what you might expect if they had an annual convention for serial killers.
Oh my gosh.
What a great quote.
That is a great quote.
And then Rick Bucher, formerly of ESPN Radio, once said, and he later had to apologize for this, hey, they are Mormons and they are in Salt Lake and there is nothing else there. You know, they got to smile and be happy all the time. This is the one opportunity for those people to get vicious.
Bucher.
He eventually had to come out and apologize for connecting Jazz fandom with Mormondom.
I'll bet he did.
Yeah. But yeah, there's so much out there, both like obviously from players. Like you hear it from Enes Kanter.
Yeah.
He said they were like the worst fans in the world.
Yes.
You hear it from, I feel like Westbrook said something before.
Yeah.
They just have a reputation.
Yes.
And so that's why I would nominate them.
And that team isn't just insufferable.
Yes, they are.
I just don't know.
Insufferable. Like even going back to like the Stockton and Malone days.
Oh yeah.
Like Stockton is it's not a secret anymore, but I didn't know it at the time that he was like the dirty.
Oh yeah.
And now you hear about it.
He'd punch you right in the nuts if he was in this room right now.
He would. Wouldn't think twice.
You know what won't punch you in the nuts? Andy's frozen custard. There's two locations here in OKC. If you're living in Oklahoma City, so there's one north in Edmond, and it's great, and there's one on Northwest Expressway. They're just so good. They make their custard fresh hour by hour. Right now, you can go get the candy cane concrete, and I like to put Oreo in with the. It's easily the best combination found, and I'm going to be super sad when it's gone. But you can go get that today. They have locations in Texas, all throughout the South, Arizona, Arkansas for sure. Go check out Andy's Frozen Custard and support the people that support Down to Dunk. Do you want to do a few more Twitter questions?
Yeah, there's one that actually someone had asked Mikey Berra.
Oh.
That I thought was a really interesting question. Johnny Ho 34, rank these accolades from most to least likely.
Oh, yeah.
And I added one.
Okay.
So the ones he wants us to rank: Paul George for MVP, George for Defensive Player of the Year, Schroeder for Sixth Man of the Year, Jeremy Grant for Most Improved, Billy for Coach of the Year, Presti for Executive of the Year, Russ averaging a triple-double, and then the one I'm going to add is Steven Adams makes an All-Star game.
Okay. What's the most likely? I think Russell Westbrook averaging a triple-double might be the most likely.
I think that is correct.
Season. Then I would put Paul George Defensive Player of the Year next.
I would as well.
If the Thunder can finish in the top two, I think that Executive of the Year could be a thing for Sam.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who would be like the big obvious ones for that. Rob Pelinka. He brought in LeBron and signed Lance Stevenson and JaVale.
Yeah, I don't think you can get there with old Rob. I mean, there's not a lot of great candidates this season because there wasn't a ton of movement. Like maybe if the Sixers were off to
right.
Celtics are not. A chance at it this season with what he did to turn this team around, and if they can be legit Western Conference Finals contenders,
right?
I think that could happen.
I think least likely for me would be getting Most Improved, just because there's too much. That's a hard one to win.
Much Siakam
Rose buzz, which I feel weird about giving him Most Improved. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
People are talking about that. The next least likely, I feel like Paul George MVP. That'd be insane. That's not going to happen.
He would have to do what he did over the course of an entire season. Like
and I'm only not putting him last just because even just him being in the conversation would be incredible. And I do think that's a possibility.
He's in the conversation. Schroeder's going to win 6-man.
No, they're not going to give him.
No one's even talking about him.
No.
Some people are like, well, it's a good acquisition, but nobody talks about him. He's got the numbers to be the 6-man.
Right.
If Zach Lowe or somebody, Mark Stein or somebody like said, you know what, he could win it
Yeah.
because he has the numbers.
That's probably going to be Derrick Rose. Do you think he'll end up playing in the minutes?
6-man. I don't know,
Derrick Rose is going to win something.
because it's definitely not Terry Rozier.
And then Billy's never going to get Coach of the Year. Coach Bud's going to get it. There's so many guys. Jaeger.
There's two. Billy's been great. I mean, he's been really, really good this season. But yeah, he's not.
And he doesn't have one of those identities like as a coach. Like Coach Bud has like an aura to him.
He changed the culture of the team.
He changed culture.
He kind of did. I'm making fun of him, but he actually did that. So here's a question from. So I promised that I would read this. It's actually an email.
Oh wow.
What do you think Diallo's max ceiling is? He thinks that he could be a Westbrook type of guy.
That good? What?
That's what our emailer Watani Redo says from Japan. I don't see that. I mean that type of ceiling, it's so rare, but I do think starter in the NBA is not out of the question for him.
Maybe like Covington?
He has like this. Yeah, he's not as big as Rob Cove.
Rob Kiv. I mean, what are his ultimate strengths? His athleticism is probably his like biggest strength.
His defense and athleticism and his ability to make plays is going to be.
Yeah.
Those are his strengths. If he can ever, it's really going to be, can he learn to shoot?
Yeah.
If he could ever learn to shoot the basketball, then he's. I don't know like who the comp is, but a crazy athlete that can shoot the ball, like he's a guy that can start and play a lot of minutes.
And even if he doesn't get the shooting, like where ends up being really good, what about like a Marcus Smart type where he just has a ton of value? He just makes plays every time he's on the court.
Yeah.
Like someone like that.
Yeah, he's definitely different than that, but I think that he's a guy that can, if he can just come in and make a defensive impact and then create stuff on the offensive end, that's great.
Who is that guy? I'm trying to think of guys that do that. Crazy athletes. Oh, like a Pascal Siakam.
Pascal. I don't know. Like an OG. I don't know. I'm having trouble thinking like role players that do that.
Yeah.
Because he's more skilled than a Danny Green type of guy. But a similar probably impact as a Danny Green type of guy.
Right.
He's not a superstar, but he's a guy that can really help you win and does like all the little things. Yeah, he's good. I believe in his future. It's funny that he and Ferguson are about the same age.
Yeah.
And it seems like, you need to trade one of them. I don't know. You have them on cheap deals. Like if a big time trade ever came up, then yes. But you're not just going to trade them to go get like an Avery Bradley or somebody like that. Like that would be silly. You got to let those guys develop, because if one of those guys next season or the season after can be like high impact, I mean, that's how you win championships without doing what the Warriors did, is that you have this core and then you have somebody emerge. They already have one guy in Jeremy Grant. If they can have one more guy, like I don't think it's far-fetched to say this team could be a championship caliber team if Durant leaves the Warriors.
Yeah. We good?
Anything else?
I got from JS Undies. I don't know. That's
JS Undies?
No, it's JSNDYS. How am I supposed to say that? All right. He said, "What's the most shocking change noticed upon returning to OKC as an expat?"
Oh yeah.
Question for me.
Yeah.
Well, my mother lives in Midtown.
Yeah. I
was here for the day opening of the streetcar.
Oh, you were?
I rode it.
You did? You rode it for free.
It was great. You know, you read these old timey, or you hear about these old timey history books. Like people in the olden days would like all get dressed up in their Sunday's best to go like wave at ships that are leaving, you know, or something like that, or like wave at the train.
Right.
There were people waving at the streetcar. It was great.
Did your mom wave at the streetcar?
We were on. People were waving at us.
Oh, good.
She was waving to them though. But it was funny that this guy got on. He was like a middle-aged dad.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, well, me and my family, we rode it last night, so I just thought I'd come out and see what it was like in the daytime." He's just riding it by himself. No family to be seen. Just wanted to see what it was like in the daytime. You know, might be different. You don't know.
It's like it was last night, but lighter.
Yeah. But that is pretty wild because
It is crazy.
that's a very Portland thing. I mean, we have streetcars everywhere. And so to see one that's way newer than our streetcars, and it's a weird route. I don't know.
Is your mom going to use it?
She already bought a year pass.
She did. Okay.
Because it goes to her church. So it's like
That's
really
great.
quick for her.
So yeah. So the question with the streetcars is it actually functional?
Right. And I think for drunk people
Yeah.
going to Bricktown,
Mm-hmm.
if people still do that, I think it's a great way
Yeah.
to do that. It's safer and it's more fun than like an Uber.
Yeah.
And it's probably way cheaper.
But where's the starting point? That's the whole thing. Because like most people, if you don't live here in Oklahoma City, most people don't live in the city.
Right.
And that's the problem. That's the only problem that I see with them is that people like your mom, I think it's perfect for them
Yeah.
because they can actually use it and it's functional. But for everybody else, it seems like a novelty type of thing.
It will be. I'm interested to see. I've heard it was like packed on Thunder game days.
Oh, really?
So I'm wondering if people are just parking farther away where
Yeah.
it's easier and like going to dinner and then going to the game.
That makes sense.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Um,
It's a good date night.
just riding it all night.
Right? Well, riding it to and fro.
Right. No, it is a fun novel thing, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Makes the city more interesting. I hate the license plates. That's my negative.
What are they?
Your license plates. Your new Oklahoma license plates. I don't like them. Hard to read.
Okay.
I like the old ones. I like the shield.
The shield is cool.
Yeah.
You know what else is cool?
Oh my gosh. What's it? The
Yeah.
the mule.
The mule is also cool. It's in downtown Oklahoma City in the Plaza District. It's a gourmet grilled cheese restaurant. They have a great bar. If you're looking Friday night, I've got friends in town. What am I supposed to do? Where do I take them? Take them to the Mule. You can get them a macaroni pony, a BCLT. Try the onion rings. They're really good. Their tomato soup is great, but they also have a great bar. They have a great beer selection. They've got a great staff, great people that work there. So please go check out the Mule. It's a delicious restaurant and support the people that support Down to Dunk. I saw somebody that went to the Mule and to Andy's Frozen Custard, supporting the people that support Down to Dunk the other night. They took pictures, put it on Twitter. If you do that, if you go and support us, please tweet it at us. It's cool.
I went with Dane and Luke,
Oh yeah.
and we put in our name at 5 different places
Oh yeah. Yeah.
because they all
Luke,
had a 45-minute wait.
Luke told me about this. Yeah.
We ended up at Empire. They were the first to come through for us.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. I got to see the press for the first time,
Oh, it's great.
and I've been to the Mule.
Yeah. Follow the Press and the Mule on social medias at the Mule OKC or at the Press OKC. You can check out what it's all about. They tweet out and Instagram things that are great. So, any other questions that intrigued you?
No, I think that was about it.
Thank you guys for listening, for tuning in on YouTube, at least for a little time while my camera was working. I know there's still people listening, so thanks for listening. We'll have this pod out later on. So if you want to listen again, if you just don't have anything else to do, that'd be great. Hope you guys have a great day. Please follow Alex on Twitter at AlBabyCakes.
And Instagram now. What's up?
Really? Oh yeah, I saw.
It's all dog content.
It
Deborah Buckets.
really is. Go follow Deborah Buckets on Instagram. You can follow our podcast on Twitter at Down to Dunk. Follow me at Andrew K. Schlecht. If you just take 10 seconds, maybe even 20 seconds today to leave us a 5-star iTunes review, that would mean a lot to us. I see all the reviews. If you haven't gotten us a Christmas present, that's a great Christmas present to get us. Just 5 stars on iTunes. It's really helpful to us. If you guys have an awesome day. Alex will be back with us
Friday show is going to be special.
on
We
Friday.
got something special planned.
Alex has been working really hard on this, so you're going to want to tune in. We will be on YouTube. Hopefully, I'll have my camera issues fixed so you can watch it. So subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe to us on whatever platform that you listen to us on. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys again on Friday morning.